Blessings, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm the one and only Mr. LP Stephen Sykes up in Live and Global Media. And today is July 17th, 2025. And I am so grateful and happy that you are here today with us. First and foremost, of great housekeeping rules, we're always going to make sure honor and welcome everybody here wherever you cross the world. I appreciate you that you don't consider robbery that we are spending time with us. We know it's been hard with the rain, the heat. Some places the cold, all of this stuff, and then God knows the flooding that's been happening across the great land here and around the world, and tsunamis, animals, shark attacks, whatever. It's been a really rough summer for a lot of things. And prayers to everybody, not just those in Texas, but all around the U.S. that there's been a lot of issues with the weather related things. So first and foremost, housekeeping rules. We just want to say bless you and your families, and please be safe out there. Today, we initially were going to have also a guest, Miss Donna Charles, who is an independent candidate write-in for the governor of Virginia. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, she was not able to join us at this time, but we will have her rescheduled soon. We do apologize for the inconvenience. We know many of you were looking to have her on and ask a lot of questions, but trust me, we're going to get it together, get it straight. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to pre-send any questions, please feel free to email us at enlivengm@gmail.com, and we'll make sure we get that to her, and we'll put our information at the bottom. But next and always, we have our lovely co-host. We have the wonderful Miss Anika Walston, MSLPC, accepting grace and counseling and therapeutic services in health and wellness and leadership and everything else. So how are you doing today, Queen?
Hi, Stephen. Thank you for the introduction. I'm doing well today. Well, very highly blessed and favored. So,
Amen. Amen. I'll take that. So before we continue on with the show, don't wait. Now, just because the person wasn't here, that don't mean we stop the show. We're going to still keep the show going. So I don't know about y'all. But that being the case, I need to know, you've been going for us for a little while, and we've been missing you, and some people have been mad about it. And so I need to know what have you been doing the last few months and things, so we know what's going on.
what have I not been doing? Okay, so basically, I've been working on my private practice, the Accepting Grace. So that's up and running. I'm excited about that. Working on a couple of other projects that deal with mental health. Still dealing with my wonderful children and trying to manage myself and just learning to love myself more and more each day. And also still trying to deal with some grieving that I'm going through, just to be honest, because I have to make sure my mental health is also managed. So I'm living life and I'm also being careful and trusting God that I continue on my path and purpose.
All right. Now, to be fair, I want to ask for those who may or may not ask. I'm going to, if you feel comfortable in sharing, what is the reason that you are going through the grief, and for those who are, especially coming from who's going through it, and also as a case, when you counseling others and working with others, what are you doing to help get past that? Or move not to what past, but work through it, I should say.
So, to be perfectly honest, me being a psychotherapist, one of the things that I learned early is that the therapist needs therapy too, right? So, I didn't practice that. And so, just to be perfectly honest, I had not grieved appropriately and had not been grieving. I just kept going on autopilot. And one thing that you will learn about your body when you are grieving or going through any type of trauma or distress is that your body's going to tell you, hey, if you don't want to stop, you're going to stop. And so in that moment when I stopped, I had to kind of regroup and kind of just rethink about the things that I needed to know, things that I needed to do, and I had to do some self-evaluation. So I started grief counseling, made it through 2 out of the 4 sessions because I still wasn't ready, and just kind of acknowledging where I was. And one of the most beautiful things is that because I have my own private practice, I have a lot of clients who are also suffering through grief. And so I'm able to understand and challenge and work with them and still remain objective and do my job. Because, you know, Grief is not just losing someone. Grief could be the loss of something that you need in your life. Losing a job, losing sight, losing anything, breakup, relationships. So understanding what grief really is just one of the biggest things that I've been doing right now.
Mm. And as you go through this process, how are you? What have you learned more about yourself?
I've learned that I do not use the word no. I learned that I have worn a cape for over 2 or 3 decades. And I've always wanted to be Superwoman, and I've always wanted to be in control. And by being in control, maybe I did not have to deal with my actual feelings, and that I'm technically codependent on so many people. So, and that way I can forget about my personal needs.
Gotcha.
And learning that I need to be important to myself is one of the things that I'm learning to myself about myself. So I'm learning to kind of love me and start to get to know Anika.
Amen. Amen. Well, first off, I want to say hello. Thank you very much, Kevin Crossley. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For joining us and things. I apologize again. I'm not sure if you heard the message. Unfortunately, our guest had last minute changes and scheduling, but we're going to have her back next week. So we're going to definitely do that. But going forward, we're still, as always, we try to always be prepared and ready, set to go. So there's two things I want to cover today. First and foremost, I want to cover that, we went through this big, beautiful bill. And one of my biggest complaints, there's a lot of things out there that's been talked about. Some of it has not been talked about, whether it goes dealing with Virginia or national level and a whole bunch of different things, myths, rumors, everything, AI, what have you. But one thing I want to say something, and it's going to be probably unpopular, and I don't care. This is also the algorithm reflects the pain. And I'm going to say that towards our people of color, and particularly our Black and Brown communities. I'm not going to beat up so much on the Asian community, and definitely not our Indigenous community, but our Black and Brown, our Black and Latino, Hispanic community. This is our fault. Granted, the rules and everything else, but here's the problem. How much longer are we going to fall for the okie doke of the game, and we going to keep fighting within our own races and then attacking each other races for whatever reason? How often are we going to continue to play the game of we're going to fall for the game where people in power will sprinkle a certain level of status or money, whatever, towards certain people, and you feel that by being closer to that status, power, money, whiteness, wealth, that will protect you? And how many more lessons in life we're going to see and play on the national level, from OJ to whatever sports athlete, to whatever have you, that you think you're good enough. And then when you get to a certain level, Alan Keyes, Clarence Thomas, a whole bunch of different people over the years, and then you want to close the door behind you. Or in everyday life, you made it to a certain position. Now you're not going to allow other people, or you're not going to pay people for what they're worth, or do all these other different things and turn around and do the same heinous things that was done to this. Now, again, I'm not going to sit there and say all white people, because it's definitely not. Don't need them when we do it to ourselves. And this is the type of thing that they are relying on over the years, for the last 30, 40, 50 years. And, to get over it. Now, miss me over the fact what people love to sit there and say as this end-all statement, like, stop. Well, the Democrats started it too, and da-da-da. It don't matter who, or King was a Republican. If you believe that, it don't matter. Republicans was before this. Okay, but now it's time to change. Okay, it's not going to rely everything back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. We're dealing with what we have now. You know that the two-party system is not working. You know all these other different things, but you refuse to stand together and unite. If we stop fighting within our inner races, intersectionally within our own race, and attacking each other's race, so what? This group got more. So what? They got the corner store. So what? This happens. What happens? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because what's going to matter is that as long as we stop working together within our own cultures, races, and then working together as all our various racial groups and groups, BIPOC communities, they're going to continue to win. See, all this could have been shut down ages ago. We didn't vote at all in the 80s. Then when we finally decided to get together, yeah, we run behind Clinton, but then we didn't give him the support, within vote in our states and local elections. We didn't come out for Gore. We didn't come out for Hillary. And this last election, on nearly 80, 90 million people didn't vote. And we're talking about maybe good 12, 13 million. The numbers keep changing, but it was well over 13 million Black people in general did not vote. And she lost by this much of a margin in a bunch of swing states. Whose fault is that? So when you see these news reports about white people with farms are mad that we don't want to come out to farm, and you're trying to pull the okie doke on Latino communities or anybody else that's suffering, and yeah, a lot of us are sitting far back and just like, F around and find out. Okay. We can keep saying that and things like that, but at the end of the day, we have to do something. We have to hold our leaders accountable. So as much of an indictment of racism and everything else that's out there, we talk about you get what you get. We need to start looking in the mirror as our communities as well. Not me, Nika, Raw Silk, everybody else. We're doing our jobs and to help informing you. And then not just us, there's many other people out there informing you out there in social media, local conversations, and everything else. But we're doing our job. But obviously not many of you are listening. Ms. Walston, what are your thoughts?
It just seems that this is a constant conversation about what our community is not doing. And, I think personally, I got to a point somewhere around November where it was like, it actually doesn't matter. So I probably was a part of that group of, what I'm
No, you were fighting with us. I'm not going to let you sit there. I'm sorry.
Well, I was fighting, right? I was fighting and I was angry.
You were angry, but you were fighting with the rest of us. I'm not going to sit there and let you lie that.
I became a part of this 92% of some of this stuff was not my battle. I did. And I'll be fair. I just felt like you said, being in the community, having conversations, making sure you're informed, educating yourself. Like, I realized that some people don't think that big. Like, people live, like, they don't know that they're part of these small subgroups. Like, they literally live in this place of, this is just where I am. This is my life. And let the chips fall where they may, and respectfully, if that's what you want to do, we're not going to live it. We're going to live or die regardless. It's kind of like, it is what it is. Our fate has already been chosen. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are going to excel and some of us are not going to. And I guess where I am right now, watching everything in this climate, I'm not really sure at this point what it is our groups could absolutely do with all of the foolishness that's going on in front of us. Like, it's insulting, right? What do you want our groups to do when we are okay with having a convicted felon, when we are okay with losing decorum in places like Congress and on Senate floors? We're cursing at press conferences, we're threatening people, we're asking people to meet us outside, like we're heckling each other. Like, America's in trouble, okay? And it's not just the Black and brown people. It's the white, the rural, the old, the young. We're in trouble. Even the rich people are going to be in trouble because at some point the chickens are going to come home to roost. You can't live in this trivial mess and treat people the way you do and think you're going to succeed. You might be in power for a while, but like, you still have to have consequences at some point. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do and be who I am, but what am I asking of my community? I can still hope. And then I need to know exactly what my community is, because sometimes the community is not for you. Sometimes the community is so selfish and so burdened with their own selfish needs that their community is negativity. Their community is narcissism and toxic behavior. You know, look at your algorithm. My algorithm, I don't even look at stuff on Facebook. And I'm always getting these scenes from this club called Baddies. Young black women just fighting and cursing and carrying on and going out to drink. And I'm a black woman and I don't want to do that. That's not in my thoughts. So you tell me, I can just keep doing what I'm doing.
The thing about it is that we have to, well, that's a conversation that we've had before, and we probably need to have it again when we're going to divorce ourselves from the ratchetness. And people love to say, well, that's what the industry offers, blah, blah. The industry offers it because we allowed it. The industry offers it because we keep saying we want it by, watching it. And I do get the idea of guilty pleasure and things like that, but it's enough is enough. We see it enough with the shows, the reality things, people are fighting, then you're going to go to Dubai the next week, whatever. I laugh when we don't even do the right things when it comes to travel and culture. For example, before these reality shows, most black people didn't even hear of Dubai, much less care.
Did what?
And didn't hear about Dubai, knew what it was, where it was, Dubai.
Okay, Dubai. Okay.
And didn't care until you see a bunch of wannabe rich white women and black women who travel there, whatever. Or you see now everybody want to go dress up in country outfits and go see Beyonce and things. But you don't go to. But at the same time, did you ever look at the history of history of black cowboys and Asian cowboys and indigenous, Latin indigenous was already doing the thing. Did you look at these things and instead of saying, hey, here's my Beyonce song, she's in a cowboy, did you ever bother to take the history of that stuff and utilize this great power that we got at the time? Not necessarily outbreak she should have, but not putting it on her in this situation. Our culture, what are you doing to share that? Heck, we didn't talk about all the stuff that's going on in the middle of the East that's pulled from Asian and black cultures and things like that, or much less explore all these other places. I bet you right now, I talk about Porto Alegre and the trade between the different cultures over the years, but I promise I don't want to say anything, but if they did a reality show with the same women and they went down there, oh yeah, Porto Alegre, in Brazil, like you didn't give a damn before. Why wait till something's popular? Take these opportunities to learn about your culture, to get involved in the community. This excuse, I don't do politics, I don't talk about it, this, that, and other. And this is what happens. This is what you get.
I got one better for you. Mm-hmm. How about more people vote on American Idol and all these other shows than they do at the polls in November?
That's a damn shame.
You can watch people sing it, which is beautiful. I love American Idol. But when they have 10 million viewers voted tonight for such and such, like, I'm amazed that you will start and make 5 different votes for one person, but you won't walk around the corner to your local voting site to vote for the person who is helping your community or supposed to help your community.
Or do these things where they tell you pay for the vote. You got to pay $1, $2, and
$1.99, and you'll do that. So, and then here's the thing, because it's okay. Like, it's the ratchet culture, like, it's not okay. Like, there's no guilty pleasure. Like, sure, like, it's okay to have, like, I don't mind having disagreements and strong arguments with other women, but I'll be doggone if I'm going to be on live television or any closed camera arguing with another black woman, another black queen. We're going to try to settle our differences, but we're not putting our hands up. Okay. That's not even supposed to happen. If we can't have a conversation and communicate, we got a problem. We need basic understanding that people are humans, that you should be able to talk and work out your differences instead of fighting. Now, before somebody sees me on this podcast and be like, but girl, I remember you when you, don't worry about that. I'm saying as an adult now.
You was one of those.
I'm not one of those. I'm just saying that, you were
laying the pipe down with the fist, huh?
No, I'm saying that if I needed to defend myself, I would defend myself. I'm saying now, but as a pleasure of just going out there to just fight because it'll get me ratings and it'll get me an extra $1,000 for a week. No, it's unnecessary. Like, when are we crafting time to have spiritual and emotional healing? Like, when are we sitting down and understanding our power, the goddess in us, like getting back to our roots and our ancestors, and just, understanding the silence and peace in our souls? No, we want to be rah all the time, and I don't have patience for that. I don't.
Understood. Well, let me go over some things for this bill that we have. I'm going to narrow it down to Virginia. And actually, before I do that, let me get your opening thoughts on the bill.
Whew. My opening thoughts on the bill is that when Miss Rossell and I and the other young ladies were speaking on these measures before this happened, Project 2025 should have been taken more seriously. I think one of the things that has incited the most anger in me was a statement that was called owner responsibility. That owner responsibility rubbed me so wrong because he said it so calculated instead of just saying slavery. And although owner responsibility is not bad as the slavery that we already sit in, it's just that we've given them permission. They're going to do what they want to do. People will concede to whatever reason. And I have not yet figured out why we are conceding. Well, while they are conceding to him. Like, how can, even with the Epstein files, this was a big thing. And then everybody was like, we're going to be mad. MAGA's mad because Trump's got that. They need to release the Epstein files. And then a day later, it's like, it's okay. It was a hoax. It was brought out by Obama and Biden. I need to understand what's in the water. I need to know what's going on. But
it was used as a weapon against Democrats, and then now say, "Oh, we didn't have it." So you don't want to admit that you either. So if there was nothing, you have to admit that you lied, but you don't want to do that. So there's something there. And I literally posted a picture. There's more people got more pictures. He got more pictures with Epstein and these young girls, like 20, 30, 40, 50 pictures that's out there than most people have with their own grandparents.
Right. And I don't understand it. How it is so easy for us to have daily press conferences where you just lie. I can barely stomach them. I forgot, was it the South African when he was sitting with Trump and Trump was showing him the cemeteries, and that wasn't even of the South African, the white South Africans who were being abused and killed, and they were saying that it's not a picture of that. And he was like, oh yes, that's it. Or the MS-13 on Abrego's hand, that was literally AI. No, that's what it was. I don't have patience for that. That might cause me to lift up my hands, because you're not going to tell me something that I know not to be true. I don't know what to do with that. Mm-hmm. You're shaking your head.
Now I'm shaking my head because it's just the pain and going through that, and people willing to just go with whatever. It is just bad. It's just bad and things. I'm going to start off with a different direction with this bill. One of the things is there's a lot of these truth, rumors, lies, whatever regarding AI in the bill. Some things was added, some things was not added, a whole bunch of different things. And I'm not going to go over all of it, but I am going to go over some of it that can go through. One of the issues was that we're dealing with manufacturers. Product liability holds manufacturers responsible for injuries or damages caused by defective products. In the context of self-driving cars, defects can be related to both hardware and software. So yes, you can sue, but they made it tighter though when it comes to products and liability. So it's not so much the car; it has to be the product within the car. If a self-driving AR system fails to detect an obstacle or makes incorrect decisions, leading to an accident, the software developer or manufacturer may be found at fault. That's got put into the bill. That was changed. Still, human drivers are still liable in semi-autonomous systems. You know, so there's real life cases and things that goes on with that. Tesla is already facing dozens of lawsuits over self-driving claims, crashes using advanced driver assistance system, breach of fiduciary duties, and from the CEO and board. Now, some of these crashes, I don't want to sit there and blame everything with technology. Some of these things is just people who just like, I'm just going to sit in the car and do whatever. You still got to be aware. But all these different things. Insurance companies are still liable to some degree for autonomous automation levels 3 and 4. Insurance companies may see higher proportions of commercial and product liability lines of businesses, while personal automobile insurance line of businesses shrinks. So basically, more and more insurances are going to be put out there for AI, where now they're going to charge you more to cover a AI car. And also, if you have a car that's fully autonomous, which we're not there yet, getting close, but anything that's a certain level of autonomous level, that you're going to pay more for insurance. And as cars becoming more and more smarter and all these other different things, it's going to start. The average person is paying almost $300 a month in insurance. Not you, of course, people pay for yours, but that's what's going on. What do you think about that so far?
First of all, you're going to have cars do some of the craziest things right now, right? So I can't imagine allowing a man-made anything, I don't care if it's AI, to direct and control me as I'm going down the road. It's bad enough you got to trust people to drive. Now you want me to trust something that you built, that you programmed to do this thing on the road and keep me safe. Doesn't have the same alert, doesn't have the same reflex, but you programmed it to do that. So a flawed human being, programmed something flawed that might be flawed, that can break down or blow up at any time. And now I need to trust it. And just in case it doesn't work, you're going to charge me more to cover myself for incidentals or accidentals. Give me a bus pass or let me walk. It's a way for people to, number one, get rid of jobs, for people to not be able to have jobs. And now people will go down in a lower class. So then you'll have more rich and poor and no middle. And then a way to have people desire to get things they don't really have to have. Okay. It's like dangling carrots in front of a bunch of people. Oh, look at this new toy. I just give me pen and paper, a cave or a tent. I don't want to be George Jetson. Yeah. I'm just not in the mood.
All right. Now, a couple of things. The House GOP inserted a clause that would have blocked Richmond. They did that block Richmond, California, New York City, and others for enforcing their own AI or driverless car safety laws for a decade. In addition, let's see. They restore 100% immediate expensing costs from Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Tesla that pocket billions. So basically, startups rarely have the taxable profits to use it. So basically, they're not, they can do all research and development tax write-off. Everything that they do spend for AI, they can do it, but you're not giving any tax write-offs for the smaller corporations that need the money to write off to build up. And of course, that hurts. There's not hardly any BIPOC startup companies that's doing that because we just don't have the resources for it. They opened up lucrative federal contracts for AI-powered surveillance vendors such as Anduril and Palantir. But there's none for minority firms. There's several out there that do surveillance, but obviously they're not offering it. The law also funds tech, but amidst privacy, bias testing, transparency, and race mandates long push for civil rights groups. So basically, none of this money for AI is mandated or earmarked for businesses of color. And not only it shrinks the bill shrinks Medicaid and SNAP benefits, but also any additional layoffs up to 20 to 30%. which obviously hurts black and brown who do not have access, especially those who live in rural areas, because now AI is going to handle this, the software and everything for it.
So we are more concerned with AI instead of feeding kids in schools. Like a whole piece of a bill was sat down and put together while you took out lunches and healthcare so children could grow and eat and be healthy, even in the condition that they are in right now. So this is what we're voting on: AI. Some of these people will never be able to afford one of these cars, nor is it for them. Never work in a factory to help build these because the robots will be building the robots.
We've always kind of, here's the truth. We've already had some level of AI. It just now has a fancy name ring to it.
Oh no, it's more though. It's
right,
like
because we had
grocery stores,
right, but we
self-checkout.
that part, yeah. But we had self-detecting crashes, radar automatic braking in case you get close, cruise control is technically another level that does the sensor for distances and things like that. That's been out for the last 7 years. All the some things been out for 10, 12 years. All that's AI anyway. It's just now
They wanted to take over though. There's a difference behind having things to aid you. And that's one of the reasons why Americans are so lazy anyway. Like remote controls. Like we don't get up and remember you used to turn on the TV, walk across the room, turn stuff off. So now we basically don't have to do anything but sit down and let AI work for us.
That's why it makes me mad with lazy people lazy. You got Alexa, Google, Siri, Meta, whatever. All these different groups that will do things. You don't even have to see. Before I'll tell people you just press a button. Now you don't even got to press the button. Just call it. And it tells you what it is. So I get annoyed when people sit there and say, well, how can I find something? Look and read. Look and find it. Hell, if you don't want to read, you can even watch the video for you. You don't even have to even do that. You can just say, send somebody out and they will find the app and send it to you. And so the product item, or send somebody to do it. They run there and then wipe your backside if you want it. And still that you don't want to do it in the lasers and learn. I just had a conversation with a friend today about, these people, if you're past 75, 80, I got you. Everybody like 75 and under, I have no mercy for you that you can't learn basic technology. Oh, I didn't grow with that. Bull. You had it. We're 30 years past.
Oh, you're not about to hate on us that don't know that much technology either. You're not about to do that.
I hate because I want to tell you, you learn what you want to learn. Because the same people that say I got it, they're the same ones that they got the grandkids, everything else on YouTube and know how to do it. You figured out how to send $400 overseas because your child or grandchild was arrested, and you send it to MoneyGram overseas online, or walk to your butt to the grocery store and send a $400 gift card or a money order. You figure things out. They know all the lottery numbers. You can tell me all the rules of every single lottery game and scratch off who did what, sue, and everything else. They can figure it out. You and I, even before that, 40 something years ago, the VCR, you could sit there and take the little mini screwdriver or at the end of a butter knife, and you had to tune the VCR to turn to your stories and the channels.
Who was doing that? No, who like, first of all, I don't know how many technologically savvy people there are, but I'm not. Okay.
People were doing that in the 80s. Okay.
I was born before the 80s.
I'm sorry, you weren't born until 1992. I understand, but
I wish. However, sometimes let's be fair, because first of all, technology, it's great and it's needed, but like it's not as simple. Like some people's brains just don't. I'm going to stick up for those people because I have children. So it is when my child came and said, "Hey mom, I want you to have an iPhone." I was like, I don't care what it is. I just need to be able to talk. And then they get it and they have to do all. I'm not doing all of that. We've discussed this. I have a basic laptop. I do basic things. I don't want to do all that stuff. I'm going underground in a cave in a tent. I'm not fit to do all this.
I'm not worried about you. The basic stuff is fine. If you lost your password or you couldn't get in, you know how to say hit for forget password, put in your phone number, it sends you a text to your phone to verify. You can do that.
Email. It comes to the email.
Some the email, some text, either way, but you know how to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about basic stuff like that. And you're not going to tell me, like, look, in 9 years, we were from music, we went from reel to 8-track to cassette to CDs.
Right.
And then we had the reels, the Laserdisc, the VHS to DVDs, all in 9-10 years. And we figured it out. And trust me, there's a bunch of, so if you can sit there and plug up a DVD and things like that and put it in there, I'm sorry. Now, I get it. In certain regions of the country, some had this, some had that. You figured it out. There's plenty of those in even the middle of Alabama or Louisiana. You figured it out what you had to do. Wear a coat and turn that daggone crank and figure out the degrees for the angle and the longitude to get the dang satellite thing. If you could figure that out, okay, and millions did. Poor, black, white, whatever, poor people. And some were not educated and still worked the factory and could figure that out. And you read a map, you can figure this out. It's just a lateral movement.
You read a map.
You know what?
I know you're about listen.
I'm going to the next.
I'll be fair. I do what I want to do, and somebody I don't want to do that. I don't want to do none of that. No, but I don't think it's fair either because see, we've got all these AI things, and I remember when I would just be somewhere, and my mama would be like, "Hey, Nika, go get such and such," and I go get it. Now, if I ask my kids, they're like ordering stuff and sending stuff to me. No, I want y'all to get up and physically go get it. Like, I don't like that lazy thing. I just,
it's all you have, but you know what? It's what you do on the other side to replace it. I'm going to tell you right now, it was lazy. Oh, you got a TV, you can walk up and turn to it and things like that. You don't got to change the antennas. Okay. It was lazy that, oh, now you just got to put in a cartridge to listen to the music via the 8-track or cassette. You don't have to sit there and roll, because if you wanted to listen to the song again, you have to sit there and turn it back on the reels.
And rewind it. Yes.
Exactly. It was lazy. What do you mean you got an eraser to a pencil? It was lazy. You got pens now? It was so, oh my gosh, we're becoming lazy. Or I give you a better one.
Oh, no,
what do you
lazy.
mean? Remember we had the what's the thing? The whiteout. What do you mean? Oh, you got whiteout now. Oh, instead of just writing the whole thing over and pay attention to what you have to do. So there's always going to be some level of lazy that they're going to say we're killing our minds because we're lazy. Okay.
This is a different kind of lazy, Stephen. This is at least with that lazy, there was some movement. People don't have to move. People don't have to interact. People don't have to do anything. I can just sit here and talk to you like this and never ever interact with you. This is a different kind of lazy.
I'll give you another one. Okay, I'll give you one. That is true, but I'll give you another one. We had when PBS started coming out in the 70s, and we had, oh my God, it's killing brain. You don't have to get up and go to school now. You can watch all the alphabets on Sesame Street and Electric Company now and do everything else.
Who said that?
The same people back then in the 70s that you're saying that and now. I'm just saying there's always going to be some level of naysayers over that. Every single thing is always going to be so grumpy people to say we're becoming lazy, your mind going to rot. But you have to find other things to keep going and develop. And just like then, we got out and did what we could. It's the same thing now. It's just about we just choose not to convey the level or have a certain level of prudence about ourselves to move forward mentally to say, okay, if I do this as an alternate to keep ourselves going. That's what I'm referring to.
Fair enough. Touche.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to the bill regarding healthcare and public health. Okay. Now this whole thing about the work requirement is getting stupid because you already had a work requirement and all these other different things. But
for Medicaid?
You're right. But what's going to happen is that rural hospitals, Lee, Halifax, Buchanan, and Emporia, is all facing enclosure or are only going to have ER status only. And now you're going to go to level 3, level 4 trauma places, and now you're going to force to drive hundreds of miles to have some major surgery and things. And think about the people that lives out in these rural areas and things that, you already got to drive 50, 35 miles to go to the grocery store, much less the hospital. So these things are very, got to be careful about that. Community Health Center grants strengths threatening free clinics that are in Petersburg, Danville, Eastern Shore migrant camps, and also out there in the Shenandoah Valley. Maternal mortality programs. Lord Jesus, let me get that straight again. Maternal mortality. That's hard. I'm working through it with the T, people. Forgive me. Programs lose federal sets aside costly for Black mothers, already 2 to 3 times more at risk. Okay. Substance abuse treatment dollars decline, squeezing opioid response teams in Southwest Virginia, which is a really big problem. Fentanyl as well.
Fentanyl was a problem, remember?
Yep. Yes, it is. HIV prevention funding drops. Richmond, Norfolk, Hampton Roads still rank among the nation's highest new diagnosis corridors. I don't think people knew that in Virginia.
Yes, in Virginia, it's known.
The AIDS epidemic has risen.
And it's quiet because of these medications also. Let's not note that everybody now thinks they can take a magic pill and it's undetectable. Okay.
And guess how it's also spreading? And I know people think I'm stereotyping, but it's not.
Go ahead and say it, Stephen.
Because a lot of us are traveling, Houston's the new Atlanta, and then also Atlanta and Miami and also Arkansas. A lot of them are traveling back and forth in the East Coast, and there's been some correlation works. The CDC is also following through on a lot of that happening back and forth. Also, you get these explosive sections, such as you see in these small counties, that children and young adults don't have many options. And check this out. These STDs are growing high in older adults in their 60s and 70s getting STDs.
I didn't see that. I did not. I knew that the STD rate had increased, but I did not know in what population. That's interesting.
In older adults, because a lot of them are, like, I'm older, you ain't getting pregnant, it's whatever, and this and that. But a lot of older adults are now seeing an increase, not just in Virginia, but on a national level, seeing an increase of STDs within older adults in the 60s and 70s.
That would be something that I would look into. Okay.
I'll pull that up. Don't let me forget. I'm gonna pull that up for you. Plan phase down ACA subsidies help the ups market that will up marketplace premiums by $1,600 per year for a 40-year-old in Charlottesville, for example, in certain areas. Elimination of federal vaping cessation grants, just as youth e-cigarettes use soars in Prince William County, Loudoun counties, and a lot of areas. So basically, these grant programs to help teach young adults about vaping and things like that, especially in high school, is going up. Now, I'm sorry, this is a problem. Parents need to be shot for this.
Need to be what? Say that one time.
A lot of parents need to be beaten and shot. You know that your kids are vaping.
Beaten and shot. Let's reel that back. Let's not meet violence with violence. Let's reel that back. Come on, honey.
All right. I'm sorry. Okay. What is, as a businesswoman in your position as a therapeutic and mental health services, smoking is a big problem within it. And the sensation within the mouth, or the sugar with other foods and items, or something that have to be in the mouth, or what have you, various levels of addiction or things that they replace it with.
You're talking about oral fixations.
Oral fixation, yes. I was just breaking it down for. I've been fussed at you. Someone fussed at me to stop using big words and things. I need to break things down for the audience. So
I just wanted clarity so that we are on the same page.
Okay, I just want to remind you, because someone fussed at me about that. So I don't know who that woman was, but anyway, oral fixation. So now we see an increase in young teenagers, even down to middle school. Mm-hmm. What are some things that parents need to look out for, and what they should do to fix this.
So let me make sure I'm understanding. Are you saying so they won't sort preventative care not to vape or to smoke or something like that?
Right. Some parents say that their kids are not doing it, but they are, and they don't know the signs. And also, what are some things they should do to help encourage their children not to if they find that their child is vaping?
So when you say vape, I need to, because I'm just now learning about that. There's like stuff in these vapes. I just found out from a coworker that they're putting fentanyl in vapes and stuff like that. That's what you're talking about? Or these vapes when you go to these cigarette stores and they have
right yeah. Now there's the what's the word? We're rigging, alternating, reconfiguring it after the fact, but just to get rid, not do it in the beginning. You see a lot of parents buying these things for these kids, or they got the uncle or whoever, that type of thing. And of course, once you turn 18, you can get 21 for cigarettes. I'm sorry. But you still see a lot of them getting it for high school students, what have you. What are your thoughts regarding all of this?
Well, so number one, let me see, because you're probably not going to agree with me. Let me see how I'm going to do. So vaping, number one, I think you're trying to correlate how do you manage somebody's oral fixation so they do not utilize the vape and whatnot. I also think
that's the part.
Yeah, the vape and cigarettes and stuff are done because of what, like being in high school. It's cool. I want to do that. I want to try that. So it's a part of peer pressure. So parents might not know if their children are vaping because, first of all, what are they vaping? If not, they're not vaping a tobacco product and they're vaping something so they can get high. Technically, parents need to know and talk to their children about anything. You don't just talk and say, oh, we're going to have a conversation about vaping. You have a conversation about life. What are your thoughts? This is what's going on. Just as much as you talk about vaping, you should be talking about sex. You should be talking about peer relationships. You should talk about friendships and loyalty. You should talk about emotional wellness and safety. So there's not just one conversation that you're going to have on vapes. You have a conversation with your child to provide them with an emotional safe place. So if they do want to do something or they have tried something, they can find a safe place and come in and talk to you about it, where they don't feel judged and they feel like they have support, because we have to do things a little bit differently than our parents, but we can still have the same moral ground and compass for that. So instead of just screaming, hey, don't do that, hey, why are you? Like, what are you getting out of that? It's kind of simple. Like, and what do they want it for? The same way when we were younger, we would have the man in the front of the store go and get you a bottle of Boone's Farm. What were we drinking for at 18? And don't look at me, Stephen, like you never did that. So
I didn't do. I'm sorry. I did say the eyes. I looked into it, but I didn't do no Boone's.
And I would go to the corner store, give the man $3, and get us a bottle of Boone's Farm and Bad Dog 2020, and we go get lit in the basement.
I did not do that. I can honestly say I did not. And there's a lot of people that would tell you that I did not. Okay, so I
congratulations.
Huh?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Because we're mischievous.
Now I've had don't get me wrong. No, so I didn't get money to get somebody things like that. Yeah, I did drink alcohol here and there and stuff like that. And then I had the uncle and the cousins, when you was 3 or 5, here, take a sip of that little thing that you did. I think everybody from the 30s to the 70s did that with the kid, but I didn't, it wasn't like, oh, you can do whatever. You knew everybody knew the eggnog was spiked here. You can have a little bit, and then that was it. You go about your way. That was it. It was no big deal. I didn't. Now, obviously, in today's world, is the wrong thing, but still, it's a problem. But yes, I do recall seeing a lot of people with that.
Well, and then kids do a lot more than what, remember, the only reason why we know that these children do more is because things are televised. Everything is live. Think about all the dirt. Well, apparently you didn't do dirt, okay? But I'm sure there's a small cemetery somewhere behind my life and with some bones. And you got to hide those things. These kids are up close and personal and telling their business. If there had been cameras or live videos when I was 18 or 19, I'd probably be a nun because I wouldn't be messing around. You're not going to have my business out in the street like this. I don't even understand. So these kids don't care. They live differently. Okay. They want everybody to know their feelings, see their feelings, put their feelings on whatever. They don't know how to regulate. They just, let me throw it out here so you can just see me.
Right. And I do recognize if there's a level of sharing for the right reasons, to grow and to help others so you don't mess up. But outside of that, no, we can't do all that. Now, let me give you a little bit of information here. Let's see. Okay. Yay, it worked. Okay. All right. Let me read this. Can you see it, Queen?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yes.
Okay, sorry. If it's not big enough for everybody, I'm trying to be.
No, I saw the first two words. I was like, rates of wow. Oh, okay.
Okay, right. So rates of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis in people ages 55 and up are more than doubled in the U.S. in the last 10-year period from 2012 to 2022, according to the CDC. Syphilis among ages 55 and above by sevenfold in those 10 years. Scrolling down for those 65 and older, chlamydia cases have tripled between 2010 and 2023. Increased sexual activity from the AARP and the University of Michigan at 40% of people between 65 and 80 are sexually active. Nearly two-thirds are interested in sex. Hormone replacement therapy, which can treat symptoms of menopause, can prolong sexual desire. But there's problems where only 3% of people 60 and older have used condoms in the past year alone because pregnancy is a concern for this age group. America is also experiencing a high midlife divorce rate. Consequently, older adults are looking to date online, have sex, and lower the chances that they know the background sexual history. All of that. In addition to that, let me stop sharing this. And unmute that. I know you're laughing. Stop that.
Wait a minute. The geriatric community is getting it in. Are you serious? They are getting it. 65 to 85?
Get it
Wait a minute.
I'm getting it in.
Listen to me. Wait a minute.
It's mostly women, not the men.
It's mostly women, not the men. Okay. So then is that whole cougar thing? Because wait a minute.
No, they get it in because there's more women. Keep in mind, there's way more. Listen, there's not that the death rate for most of us passing around between 75 and 80. Most of the women living into the 85, close to 90, and they still getting it in. Okay,
not with the 65 and the erectile child.
So
they're dating younger. They have to be dating younger men because the 65-year-old man is watching porn on his cell phone and hoping he's not. That Viagra's not working with that high blood pressure and diabetes.
So many. Keep in mind, there's 9 women, 7, something like that to men, and it increases more because there's less men when they get older.
So you think what's going on here? Listen, I am a single black female. What is they got these older women is out here in these streets?
University Hospital. This came out. This recent report here. Going on out here. Yes, indeed. Syphilis infections are whopping 32% in 1 year for 2020 to 2021. God knows what it is.
Cardi B, what are they doing?
I don't know. They just say we just don't give a damn. We multiply. Let me show. What's this here? Oh yeah, in the NBC News. Yep. I read and above, and then where
they throwing freak offs.
It's the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Not in their 80s. We're talking about females,
males and females.
Wow, that's the AI community. That's just not. You're not to tell me. Okay, well that's good to know.
See, older adults are also less likely to perceive themselves as a risk for contracting STDs. Some older adults may be embarrassed to talk to doctor to
Doctor.
be tested for STDs. Additionally, doctors may also misdiagnose early symptoms of HIV infection, fatigue, weakness, and memory changes as signs of aging and other diseases. The trend also represents a significant public health challenge that requires better education, screening, and communication between healthcare providers and older patients about sexual health.
Well, so then what I'm hearing you say is that the older people are not having healthy sexual conversations about what needs to happen when you engage in casual sex, is what you're trying to tell me.
Right. So basically, we meet up at the bingo, and we're gonna make sure we connect. If you didn't win bingo
What
at
the heck is the mango? What is that?
No, a bingo.
A bingo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we didn't win at bingo, but we're gonna win later on.
all jokes aside, the problem is whether you are 18, because I'm not going to go lower than that, or 83. People
Actually,
need to find a level of comfort with having adult conversations about sexual health. There is nothing wrong with pausing and talking about your sexual health history.
We need to have that conversation. I'm not encouraging it, but we need to start having that conversation around 10 and 12. It's happening. We still got kids. You know how many kids are still getting pregnant at 10, 12 years old nowadays?
Okay, so I get that. So in households, you should be discussing with your youth. I get that. I'm saying adults that are having active sex. I'm not talking about the children. I'm saying it should be okay if you are interested in engaging in a sexual activity with another person that you talk about sexual health. There is something that you can stop before your bodies get all hot and bothered, that you talk about making sure the other person is safe. Okay. People have a lot of different sexual practices. There's polyamory, there's the LGBTQ, there's heterosexual, there's open marriages. There needs to be more open conversations about healthy sexual health. That's all.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to go over a couple of more things regarding the bill, and then I'm going to get into some other news, positive news as well.
Positive news?
Yes, okay. The clean energy tax credits are phased out, jeopardizing 4,000 planned solar jobs in the South Side and Hampton Roads, Virginia. EV tax incentives are killed. Volvo in Pulaski County and Toyota battery plant spinoffs may rethink Virginia expansions. Highway Trust Fund clawbacks delay I-81 widening safety in Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel Phase 2. So that's going to delay that. EPA water quality grants trimmed. Chesapeake Bay cleanup timeline slips, hurting crabbers in the Black Waterman. Superfund cuts slow toxic site remediation in Hopewell's industrial corridor. FEMA migration. FEMA mitigation funds reduce risky flood wall upgrades in Norfolk rising tide neighborhoods. That's dangerous. So basically, what happened in Norfolk can happen. What happened down in Texas can easily happen in Tidewater because they don't want to upgrade the system and take the money away. Broadband build out grants downsize, stalling last mile fiber to 280,000 rural households. I think it's going to be more than that. A lot of people in Virginia do not have more than some 280,000 people do not have access to decent internet speed. So that's terrible.
It was nice that they were giving out the internet to the individuals in low income homes. So like during the COVID, and then I think they still were given that discount, but I know they're getting rid of that too. So some of these resources that were helping these rural areas
that got canceled last year. That ADP thing that got canceled. I think that was the wrong thing because now a lot of people with their tablets and phones don't have access to things, and that's wrong. I'm going to share, as always, we try to do some level of entertainment, sharing, learning, what have you, with our groups. Okay, now I'm being good today. I'm being good. So in Forbes, there's a great Jabari Young, a great article that came out actually today. I was reading He sold his coffee shop and raised 186 million to disrupt a venture capital. So he's basically taking his money and getting it out to other people, and plans to invest 25 early stage technology companies to help enterprise zones in various areas. This is out in Forbes, and I think this is a very good article, not only for people of color, but just people in general, how you can still take money, make more money by building out as a venture capital company. And there are not many people of color that's getting more involved with the resources to build a venture capital company, or combining their resources to make stuff like this happen. So I think this is a very great article. And how they are rethinking the building blocks of wealth, not just buying a store and nothing against it, but not just buying a store in the corner, opening it up and tell people to buy. That helps. Buying a block, yes, but not everybody has the resources, and it takes a while to build up within the community as well. So that's something I think people should take a look at. What are your thoughts? Before I move on.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier today, didn't we, about people putting their resources together. We as just a group need to understand business and business practices, period. We need to understand the key foundations of just what it means to create a business. And we need to want to educate. The problem is that we should not just look at business as a place of, to just become lucrative. It's also about expanding your knowledge and learning to take a tool and make it bigger than that, learning to expand on a tool and then being able to duplicate it so it can be utilized in other areas. We need to understand business practices. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. But how many people are interested in that? Like, how many people are really interested in trying to create a business or help a business or support a business that's going to make them smarter and have more resources?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's nice. I just would love to see how often it's used. And I'm not being negative.
No, that's not a problem. I agree with you on that. The next article is okay, here we go. 4 Black scholars selected for dean appointments at universities. Raquel Moore has been appointed dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts in Howard University. She comes to her new role from University of Texas, Austin, where she was a full professor and associate dean of graduate education and academic affairs at the College of Fine Arts. Randy Bradley has been named dean of the Jack C. Massey College of Business at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Very good school, that is. With over 2 decades of academic experience, he most recently taught as a faculty member in supply chain management and information systems at University of Tennessee. Alexia Hudson Ward has been named University Librarian and Dean of Library at Georgetown University. Past 5 years, Dr. Hudson Ward has served as Associate Director for Research and Learning at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Libraries. She was recently appointed Vice President and President-elect of the Association of College and Research Libraries. Very good.
Awesome.
And Joel Borna has been selected to serve as an intern dean of College of Agriculture at Virginia State University down the street. We might have to get her on the show. I'm going to put that job on you. Write that name down. You do that. Don't take that deep sigh on me. She previously served as the college's dean from 2011 to 2015 before transitioning to leadership roles as the state and federal level. In 2021, she became the first Black woman appointed as the United States Deputy Secretary of Agriculture. Most recently, she served as president and CEO of 1890 University's Foundation. I say this, and I'm going to say this with great pride. Go ahead, bad brothers and sisters. Go ahead with your
Absolutely. Celebrate them. Before we get to the foolishness of the bill, let's celebrate these wonderful human beings that are just walking in their purpose. I think that's awesome to highlight them. We are moving, and we need to celebrate those who are moving and support them while they're moving.
Exactly. Also, I'm a big fan of Abby Phillips and CNN and things. So she's published a new biography of Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm kind of, I'm always like, don't get me wrong, I love Jesse, but I'm like, though we got like 50 books on him already, but oh well. Out in October, focused on the civil rights leaders' 1980s presidential campaigns and what he did. I kind of thought that was already highlighted, but hey, well, I'm interested to see what what's her take on this. And there's several stories that deserves to be told. So I think this is a very good thing. Get your Amazon and wherever else that she has it out. Make sure that you get your copy to support her, and we need more and more support for our black publishers, not just these crazy sex related books. The nice good girl hooking up with the Leroy down the street thug.
Let's not hate on fiction, but I like Abby. I don't know if I will support Abby, but I don't want to read about him, and I'm willing to have that a discussion privately. I don't. Yeah. No.
Okay. Not a problem. not a problem. Well, there's the aspect of that he did run, and we also know that our history books currently in our history books from the 80s are not featuring us as well. So there's some level of news that needs to be out there. So I'm open to seeing.
So we can write our own books. Do that.
Exactly. The city of Salem welcomes annual Black picnic to Salem Willows Park on Negro Election Day. Okay, so let me just read that so people who may be hearing but may not get to see everything. For centuries, Black families have gathered with family, friends, and loved ones at the Salem Willows on the third Saturday in July. The city of Salem is honored to serve as a home for its community center celebration once again this year. Historically known as the Black Picnic, starting in 2023, Commonwealth officially recognized this day as Negro Election Day in commemoration. I need to get my teeth going. It's hard to get it out. Of the first Black voting system dating back in 1740, which is good. This year's falling on Saturday, July 19th in Salem Willows Park. Looks forward to welcoming families and friends from near and far for the annual celebration of Black history and togetherness. This is a great thing to show, obviously the first Black voting system. And this one I was not aware of when I saw this early in the week or last week. I can't remember when I found it, but that struck me that a little bit of piece of history in 1740. So something, pull out your books here and get that little bit of information. And I will send this out to everybody if they need some more information regarding it. Going further, July 14th, Indiana State Police and African American Achievements. On today's edition of Bring It On, they welcome Attorney Jerome Edsel, Indiana's third Black appointed state trooper. Mr. Edsel had over 50 years of service to Indiana law enforcement, and state police are specialized law enforcement agencies that operate under state governments of the U.S., yada, yada, yada. But basically just honoring him for over 50 years of service. Indiana's first Black state trooper was Jim Sears in 1962. At the time, State Policeman Superintendent Melvin Caraway said Sears was a mentor for Blacks who aspired to become police officers. Sears retired as captain in 1992 after 30 years of service. Reuben Hill became the second African American trooper in 1964. Pat King was the first African American woman to join the Indiana State Police in 1980s. So they were just basically crediting Black state police people who helped pave the way for others within the state. A little bit of, oh Jesus, I didn't share the tab. Lord forgive me. I'm sorry. You're supposed to catch me on those things. So the website is wfhb.org. The article came out in July 14th. And the last but not least, meet the 2025 NEA Human and Civil Rights Awards winners. They honor non-leaders advancing equity, justice, and education. This is from NEA.org. And let's go over to the people. The first person, I'm not going to go over all of it, but mentoring young Black men through identity and purpose. Ohio educator and NEA member LaShawn Ship Collins spent the last 2 decades mentoring young African American men, helping them reach their full potential and connect pride and their identity to academic achievements. Who is a health and physical education instructor at Orange High School in Pepper Pike, Ohio. Woo! That's a tongue twister. Founded an after-school mentors program called the Male Minority Leadership. The program offers a safe space for young Black men to bond over their commonalities and embrace their differences. His goal is to inspire students to take control of their destiny. Breaking Glass Ceilings, Marissa Windmill is one of the nation's most influential figures in advancing academic opportunities for young women. She is an NEA member and a board member for the Washington Professional Educator Standards Board, where she advocates for and supports efforts that diversify the educator workforce. And one more, creating change across communities. Imura Jones is an Emmy and Peabody Award-winning journalist and the founder of Translash Media, a nonprofit media organization to combat anti-trans hostility through storytelling and journalism. Marta Silva is a heritage language instructor for Olof North High School in Kansas. She creates district's heritage language program initiative that levels the playing field for Hispanic students by promoting translation and interpretation skills along with career training. She empowers Latino students to pursue higher education and overcome barriers. Great information here.
Awesome information. Awesome. That's good. That's good. That's awesome.
All right. So we're not going to go too much further. We're going to keep this short. Well, I shouldn't say short. We've been on for a little over an hour.
Not too soon.
I'm going to let that one go. But any final thoughts, Queen? Anything that's concerned? Hey, Mr. Boyd, how you doing, sir? Oh, Lord, sir, we just went over a whole bunch of stuff. You got to rewind this, Mr. Boyd. Hopefully, you get a chance to watch the show. Thank you so very much, Mr. Boyd. He is a professor at Virginia State University, professor, writer, director, singer, dancer, actor. God knows everything else in between. Make sure you follow his social media. A wonderful man that's involved in a lot of things in arts and culture that we need to bring back. Thank you very much, Mr. Boyd. Afterwards. Okay, now I hear your fan this time, man.
Oh, my fan?
Yeah,
it's not on. It's not on.
So what's the feedback, though? Okay. Oh well.
I don't know.
All right.
Let me mute.
Oh well, there's no problem. Well, I wanted to before we close the show, a lot of things happened besides the bill and things. What is your final thoughts for today?
We're done with the bill. We're not going back to the bill. Is that what we're done with?
We're closing up. We're winding up.
We're going to wind up. We're going to wind down. Thank you for inviting me back to the show. I appreciate being here. Thank you. My final thoughts are: keep hope alive. Keep doing what it is that you do. Keep educating people. You know, I just encourage people to just be right now. Like there's no 10 months ago, before all of this election started, I had like a different feeling. Right now, I just want you to live, breathe day to day, love of one another, and keep moving. You know, be aware, take care of your kids, you know, tell some hard truths. And I take away from this show today that we can celebrate and educate ourselves and still laugh amongst all of this that's going on. So just be true to yourself. That's my takeaway, since I didn't get to talk about this big, beautiful bill. Thank you, Stephen.
We talked about some of it.
Yeah, the AI part, the tech part that you so love. Okay. Not this foolishness about what that lady did in Alaska, where she got her state taken care of. We didn't get there, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Save it, save it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get
Okay,
it.
Marjorie Green Taylor and her AI piece of we didn't okay, but that's fine. Yeah, but I had a great time.
Okay, I want to go over we're getting close to the getting ready for school. Some are going. Uh, we're going to get ready for school. Some are going to start at the beginning of August, some a little bit later, what have you. I'm still in belief that we should not start school back until September after the holiday. I know some people want to for weather related, whatever. I look at it as not just about the kids. I think about the teachers. You don't pay them enough to give them all of this other stuff. Start thinking about them. But I'm going to say this with your preparation and advocacy and love are powerful forces that will help your child thrive for the school year. And I wrote the statement out, but I'm going to let it flow a little bit differently. But as you prepare for the fall, know that the time and energy you invest now is very important, whether it's connecting with teachers, reviewing curriculum, organizing supplies, or having important conversations with your children that we talked about their identity, their worth, and also their potential. Keep in mind, I want you to think about these three words because there's a lot that came to my head, but I want you to think about your identity, your worth, and your potential. That creates a foundation for success that extends far beyond the classroom. It really does. Your voice matters deeply in your child's educational journey. You bring invaluable perspective, cultural richness, and insight that enhances not only your child's experiences, but the entire school community. When you engage your child's school, ask questions, share your family values, and advocate for your child's needs. Please advocate for your child's needs, not to baby them, but the needs for if they need any help, more homework, uh, more teachers, more support in the classroom, whatever it may need. And fight for those who can't fight for themselves because there are some parents who just don't know. But fight for your child's needs because you're modeling the kind of self advocacy and awareness and confidence that will serve them throughout their lives. Every conversation you have about celebrating their heritage, every time you reinforce their capabilities, every moment that you spend preparing them academically and emotionally, these investments compound into resilience, pride, and achievement. Three more words: resilience, pride, and achievement. Your children carry your wisdom, strength, and high expectations with them into every single classroom. They really do. This school year is another opportunity for your child to shine and show them what they can do and learn, grow, and show the world, what they can do in their invaluable and incredible potential. So you got this. Do your duty and prepare your children. Get in gear. No staying up late. Get in those books. Have them start reading early. Get involved. So none of this. Teachers gotta ramp them up and things like that. Host other study sessions within your communities, in your neighborhoods. Talk to your friends, your cousins, family members, whatever. What are your children doing preparing for school? And those of you in the next 3 years, sophomore, junior, seniors, or even freshmen in some cases, college, trade school, what are you doing? More than one skill, more than one trade. Prepare them because this is not a game. Are we making our children grow up early? That's for each child, each parent to make that decision. Either way, you got to be prepared. Thoughts, Miss Walston?
As usual, I agree. So, but I need my children to leave in August to go back to college because I need my empty nest back. Now, these little babies, they get on buses. They can stay all they want to, but I don't have little babies at my house. But these grown babies, I'm gonna pack up this refrigerator in their little trunks and get them out here the second week in August. Okay?
Oh, so can I come by and get some food?
Huh?
Can I come by and eat some food? You gonna cook some food?
I'm not cooking, honey. I'm not door dashing. I'm going to Dubai. Listen, remember, Stephen, it's like this is the year that I celebrate. I'm about to hit so I'm in my place. So I need these kids to go and I need to enjoy the next 5 months as I turn a half a century Oh, so I'm excited. I'm about to
When,
party like
when
them
when's that date?
80-year-olds.
When's that date when you turn 50?
Listen, Stephen, you do realize we are the same sign. We have this conversation. I was born in November on Thanksgiving, the 27th. We're Sagittarius. Remember? This is why we go back and forth. Remember? So, yes, I celebrate the last 6 months every single day of each month.
Oh,
And I'm
that's right.
living like, that's how that's just supposed to be. So, yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
going to
So you're
enjoy
older
this.
than me. You're older than me.
I
So
am
I expect
older
my
than you.
so I expect my gift first.
Yeah, okay. So, Stephen, wait on it. Okay.
All right. Well, everybody, I
I
want to
love you,
thank you.
Stephen.
I love you too. I love you. Thank you, everybody, for your support. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email us at enliven, ENLIVENGM at gmail.com. We always answer your questions. I get comments afterwards. I get the emails afterwards. We respond to you directly. We also respond to it on the show. We ask if you want to or what have you. But please, always feel free to share it. It's not about whether you we agree or not agree. We just want to have these open conversations so we can come to a solution together, regardless if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, Conservative, whatever. Dance from the
Or
moon,
no
below
politics at all.
or that, whatever. Either way, all of it. The thing is that we all got to live on this earth together, and we have to find an equitable and safe way. Because at the end of the day, regardless of your beliefs, I do know one thing: you want a roof over your head. You want your children educated. You want your family safe. You want to be able to pay your bills and sit back and drink a glass of water and not making sure that the environment's killing you at the same time. Okay, and be able to practice your faith without being killed. Your child getting home from school safe and not shot at the school, and making sure the doctors have all the tools and education, and if you need medicine or someone in your family, you have it without dying or going into debt just to be able to get insulin or asthma inhaler, whatever. So please always share your thoughts and concerns because we want to help. And then also, if you are in need of any help, services, what have you, including mental health or social services, please, or gambling addiction, there's what is it, 1-800? It's a 1-800 or 188 gambler. Please forgive me, I do not know. Well, for the hotline, you also have Virginia
988 for
nine.
crisis.
Thank you for crisis. You can also contact Miss Walston. She houses everybody and for supportive services. But if you need any help and assistance and things like that, please do reach out and we'll help you out in getting supportive services from her or anywhere else in the state, local, and to your nearby area, not just in Virginia, but anywhere else. And please, if you're interested in sponsoring, we could definitely use your support. It really helps. Anika Walston requires me to give her $500 every time she shows up. So I'm kind of short this week. So she told me I got till tomorrow to give her money. So please support us. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/Enliven Global Media. We're also available on Cash App and Zelle and also on Venmo as well. But we could really use your support. It does take a lot to keep this going. These apps and programs and sharing and things, we want to make sure we're able to get out to different events. We do cover the Raceway, the Jazz Festival. We got the Richmond Raceway soon. We got some other cultural events for the youth. We really try to stay at it, but we definitely need your support in doing so. So all jokes aside, please, from $1 to $1 million, whichever way. If you do give $1 million, I got to give a portion to her. But other than that, please, we could definitely use your support. Also, we need some new coloring for Raw Silk. We miss you. We need some more coloring for her hair. So we definitely need that. I'm going to get it. But I appreciate everybody. And Miss Walston, did you want to share your business website or email?
Stephen provided later because all of that, you're not going to write all that down. It's accepting grace, counseling and therapeutic services. That so. And then put my email in the Anika Walston at gmail.com and you can reach me through that.
Okay. Thank you so
That
very
would be
much.
easier because it's a lot. Yeah, because I don't want to misspell it. Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, everybody, for your time, your blessings. Please be safe out there. Please stay hydrated. Please stay cool. Check on somebody, whether you think they're okay or not. Do take your medicines. Do drink your water. Stay hydrated. Check on your children and your seniors. It's hard out there. People are not eating right now. People don't have a place to go, and it's cool. We have plenty of resources out there for cooling stations, and we're not utilizing it, or we're not getting the people that need it the most. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I love you all. Thank you, and God bless. Bye bye.